Palm
Year.
Springs point of viewers. Conrad,
Exactly.
whoa, how was your New Year's?
It was very, very busy. All kinds of great things happening here in the desert, of course, and actually all over the world. We want to say hello to all of our international followers who are following us here.
And there are a lot of them in town too.
Everybody's
for the
here.
Film Fest.
What do they call them? The snowbirds are in town.
What do we call them? I don't know. What do we call them?
The snowbirds. So we have a lot to talk about this.
Exactly. And I don't know, actually with everything going on, parties and Film Fest, I went to LA. You were reading books?
Busy.
I don't know. I mean,
busy looking at a couple of books. We're going to talk about them.
How did you manage to do that, watching all these films?
It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. And then also we are going to be talking about an exciting new residence that is here in the desert called Living Out. You went to see them, right?
Absolutely fabulous. Walkable to the city, a beautiful living residence, and we'll talk about that restaurant too.
Very soon. All right, stick around. There is an outstanding new LGBTQ plus community here in the desert in Palm Springs. Claudia, you were there. Tell us a little bit about it.
Living Out is an incredible new community, just minutes from town on 9 acres. Living, great dining, and we had a chance to sit down and talk with a developer. Let's have a look. We're here in Palm Springs, living in while living out at Living Out, the brand new, newly opened LGBTQ plus community with the creator and founder, Lauren Ostrell. Lauren, thank you so much for inviting us in to your home. Tell us how you conceived of a LGBTQ plus community lifestyle apartment living right here in Palm Springs.
Well, I've been involved in the LGBT community for many, many years through organizations, primarily the Los Angeles LGBT Center, which is the largest LGBT organization in the world. And so I learned about the issues that were going to be confronting our community. And I knew that, you know, the demographics were such that our community was going to get old like the general community at large. And that there were very few opportunities for comfortable living for people. And that would probably remain the situation because unfortunately, even though a lot has changed vis-a-vis the LGBT community and the broader community, there's still a lot of, a lot of discrimination against LGBT people, particularly as they get older. And what you find is that people move into kind of more general communities and often go back into the closet because they have to hide who they are because the other residents are not comfortable with them or the staff is not comfortable with them. And so you hear stories of people putting away their photographs with their partner who's passed away and they go back in the closet. And to me, that's just the worst possible thing that could happen to the generation that was the generation that first came out. I mean, this generation that's aging now is the generation that came out and really changed the world.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so I wanted to create an environment where people could be and be who they are.
The whole living out is very engaging. There's a beautiful pool. You're looking at the mountain. So it's designed for people to congregate, you know.
It's designed for people to congregate if they choose. But I also wanted to make it not where it was just an insular community, because these communities could become insular and do become insular. I wanted to provide opportunities for the broader community to come into Living Out and interact with the people who live here, the residents. And so we have a restaurant and a bar that's open to the public.
Boy, do you have a restaurant and a bar.
Yes, we do.
Namely Alice B. by the Border Grill Girls, Susan Feniger and Mary Sue Milliken, and we have eaten in the restaurant, and it is fabulous. If you have not been to Living Out yet, do come in and take a look at the extensive art collection, which is all by local artists. So you've been very, very instrumental in making this happen.
Yes, I wanted to have an opportunity for the community to become part of Living Out. And so through the help of Kevin Neerman, we went to many, many LGBTQ artists in the Valley and said, would you be willing to hang your art in Living Out, and we will sell it for you.
Now we're sitting here in a one bedroom, right? And it's so spacious, so modern. And I think you were mentioning that some of the apartments go up, the 2 bedrooms go up to a little over 2,000 square feet. Am I right?
The largest 2-bedroom is 1,800 square feet.
Yeah.
And they were all actually a good bargain because of many of the things that you get when you move in here as part of your rent. You don't have housekeeping because we provide weekly housekeeping. We provide every 6 months a deep housekeeping. We provide all utilities. That's an exceptional savings in the heat of Palm Springs. We provide breakfast, a continental breakfast made by Susan Feniger and Mary Sue Milliken. Every unit comes with a washer dryer. The appliances are high-end appliances. There's a lot here for your rent, as well as all of the activities.
There's a movie theater here
There's
too,
a movie
right?
theater with 25 seats. It's a beautifully, again, appointed movie theater. You can see the people who are living here really are getting what I wanted them to get, you know. I can see the joy. In fact, it's been expressed to me, the joy of being in a place where they don't have to go back in the closet, where they can hold hands with their other and be comfortable with that.
And we're out in front of Living Out on the corner at Talkwitz, and many of our viewers probably most likely want to know what is going to be in this freestanding modern building. What does it say? Tail waggers? Tell us about what's great tail waggers.
So one thing we didn't talk about is that we really encourage pets at Living Out.
Pet friendly.
We want not only pet friendly, but pet encouraged.
Oh, that's a new term.
Pets are really important to people. And
It's
so
absolutely right.
we've asked people, you know, to be very comfortable bringing their pets in. And we decided to have a building that was a retail building that would be pet services. And my friend Todd Warner owns the company Tail Waggers. He has 3 stores in Los Angeles. It's the most successful pet store in LA. And he has great stores. So I asked Todd to come here, and he will have a pet store, pet grooming, pet daycare, and a pet overnight hotel.
Well, Lauren, this has been great. Thank you for giving us a tour of Living Out and Alice B., the talk of the town. And I guess, you know, these apartments, this living could be a little addictive, but I suppose Alan and I could never move in, right?
Why would that be?
Well, we're not L, we're not G, we're not B, we're not T, we're not Q. Do we come in the plus category?
You come in the allies category.
Allies, okay.
And we welcome allies to come live with us.
That's fantastic. So there you go. Our viewers now know that Living Out is for living for all. Thank you so much, Lauren.
My pleasure. Thank you very much.
What an amazing space, and how close to downtown, great walkability,
It's
right?
so great. Yeah, nice and open and airy. And if you haven't been to Alice B yet,
Terrific, right? Not yet, I'll be there.
Absolutely not to be missed. I mean, it's the talk of the town.
Yes. And I love all the services that are associated with this new residency. You know, I'm a homeowner, but gotta go take a look at that, because you never know.
And you don't feel like you're retired. It doesn't have that feeling at all because of all the art and the sense of community.
Yeah, love
and
that.
Lauren has really instilled this. So go check it out and do dine there. Now, Conrad, I'm still amazed that during this season, with all the parties, with all the films, you have managed to sit down, by the fire, or I don't know, relax and read not one book, but 2.
Exactly.
And something about Woody Allen, yay, and something about sex and murders. Well, I guess that'll keep you up at night. All right. Tell us about what you've been reading.
Let's get to the sex and tours soon, but let's start with Woody Allen. All right. So this is the Woody Allen book. It's actually been out for quite some time. What I found very interesting about this is that whether you are a Woody Allen fan or not, he's going to really tell you about his start in the entertainment industry as a stand-up comedian. Then he's going to talk all about the various movies that he's done. He actually still to this day believes that he got lucky getting into the directing and writing world. And he also covers a lot of his controversies that are out there. When was
this? When did this come out?
It's been out for quite some time. I don't know the actual day, but it's been out for quite some time. One of the things that I found very interesting is that He's a rambler. When you see him in his movies, the way he talks about this is the way he writes, and it's very hard to get the hang of it.
Self-deprecator, yeah.
It's all in here. But he writes like that, and you can hear him writing. It's a very interesting and fast read. Definitely recommend it.
Now, does he talk about his music?
His
clarinet?
About the music. He talks about the controversies that he had at the end with his ex-wife. He talks about starting as a comedian. He covers it all, and there's no stopping. He just goes and goes and goes.
We had a chance, actually, he's a clarinet player, right?
Yes.
And we had a chance to actually see him at the Carlisle in New York. Great band, such a fun night. I mean, meticulous. He's very, very serious. He's sitting there right in front of us, setting up his clarinet, not talking to anybody, just focusing.
And you know how come? Because he's not secure in that. But he loves to do it.
He loves to do it. You can tell.
He still thinks, why are people here to watch me?
Yeah. And of course, the place is packed. We're all loving it. Yeah.
So it's a good, quick read.
Excellent. Excellent. And tell us about your other book here.
Okay. Now, how's this for a title? The Grand Sex Tour Murders. All right.
Okay. Now, what brought you to even pick that out and read it?
The reason I picked this up because there is a publishing company here in town called Rattling Good Yarns.
Yes,
here in the city.
We've talked about
That's right.
that. Yeah.
We've had a variety of we had at least a couple of their authors here. We'll do more interviews with them. So I thought, let me read another one of the books. This gentleman lives in Santa Barbara and lives here in Palm Springs. So I thought there's a little tie-in. Okay, so where does the sex come in, right? Where does everyone?
Well, this is Palm Springs.
So what this is, they kind of grab on to the idea of a reality show with sex in it, and so he takes a variety of boys and they go to Europe to a variety of bathhouses, and they're going to have a competition that you can vote on and give money to and such. And so during this sexcapade reality show, there's a murder that goes on. And that, to me, is where this book falls. Because, first of all, if I says sex tour, I want to read some stuff about sex going on. It's there, but it's hardly there.
The bathhouse life, right?
There's not much really there. There's a murder that takes place, and he talks with the murderer throughout the book. To me, that is so boring. The guy is, the way the murderer speaks is very verbose, and I find myself, whenever they go to the interviews, I can skip through it and jumped on to whatever the book was about. It's still an interesting book. It's just not on top of my book.
So you can kind of skim through it.
You could skim through it.
Get to the sexy parts, the murder part.
And then move on. It was one of the books over at the Primetime Book Club. I don't know if they enjoyed it. I would say if you have some time, why not?
Where's the Primetime Book Club?
In South Palm Springs, I think it is. Yes.
Okay.
So there you have it. 2 books, if you're looking for something, if you have nothing else
to do, sitting around.
Exactly.
It's cold outside. Thanks, Conrad.
So let's jump from the book world to interactive art. And you and Alan, I think this past week, were very fortunate to see a new exhibit called Luna Luna in downtown LA. Tell me about it, because I've read about it and I've seen about it.
Well, and actually you were instrumental in telling us about it way before it opened. And then from our good friend Jim Budman, who we interviewed on a previous show, his brother and Drake, the musician Drake,
right.
and Dream Crew, Drake and his Dream Crew, were able to sort of excavate this art amusement park that's been sitting in containers for 35 years.
Amazing.
And bring it back to life. And this was an art designed by artists, kind of circus that came to life in Hamburg, Germany in 1987, just for the summer. Then it was lost and forgotten for that many years.
And now here in LA.
You have to have a ticket to be admitted, and they are on the hour. We thought we only had an hour, but you can stay as long as you want. We were probably there for 2 hours because there is so much just to delve into. There's a timeline of everything that happened through practically the whole 20th century.
And one of the benefits of this is one of the 2-hour rule from Palm Springs to Los Angeles is we're not that far.
No, and
so
it's
you can hop down there for the day.
If you live in Palm Springs, it's in Boyle Heights, which is East LA. So it is so much easier to get to than anything in downtown or the West Side.
It's called Luna Luna. Make sure you check it out in LA.
Well, the annual Palm Springs Film Fest is in full gear.
Full gear.
This is like a huge one this year because there were so many stars in town.
Well, everyone's back because COVID is gone, and here we are. We can get together again.
Exactly. Right? It was just been like one big, another round of parties and all of that. But, we actually had a chance to, we're talking about best foreign film. We actually both had a chance to watch one film called Society of the Snow, which is Spain's entry for best foreign film. And Conrad, I know, let's just talk about that film. It's a gripping story. I'll just say one thing.
Did you know about the story?
Yes, I knew about the story, 1972. Do you remember?
No, I don't remember this.
You were just a wee one.
Was I born then?
The Uruguayan rugby team that was flying to Chile over the Andes, the plane crashed. Yeah. I remember this. I don't remember the whole story.
And this is stuff that the plane crash in this film will take your breath away.
Oh,
because
absolutely.
It is so realistic.
Absolutely. Alan and I were both saying, how did they do this?
How did they do that? Yeah.
And that way, and then you're sucked in right from there, or sucked out. I don't know.
Well, that happens also. So,
what'd you think?
It was a terrific film because the stories of each of the individuals is so interesting. You get very involved, and their survival is really good, and the way it's filmed. So realistic.
Yeah, it is, because it's not just about like how they survived and how they, what.
It's about teamwork and camaraderie.
Exactly, and you really get into the lives of each individual on their plane. There were others aside from the rugby players, but the flashbacks that go to remind you of who they were in society and who they were in Society of the Snow, what they were going through.
And as you mentioned, it is a foreign film, but it is in English.
Well, we saw it in Spanish because we
wanted to keep it.
Oh yeah, we wanted to keep the subtitles. We wanted to keep it true to what it was.
I saw it dubbed in English, and initially I thought, I don't like this, and got right in.
Oh, okay.
So we saw the same film in a different way.
That's interesting.
But we both still believe it's a great film.
That's great, because a lot of times the dubbing, we were like, no, I don't want to go there because it's going to be crazy voices that won't be representative of the feeling that we're getting.
They did pretty well with this one. I was pretty amazed.
Yeah.
With that.
Well, the story is, do see this if you can, but to survive for 2 months.
Oof.
2 months? How? You will want to find out.
It's a good one.
Society of the Snow.
Claudia, before we leave, I know we're talking about January stuff, but February is Modernism Week, and you and Alan and the GAN Band have a show coming up. Tell us about it again.
Yes, we do, and we're in rehearsal now just for you to come and see the Beatles and Beyond. Now, this is under live entertainment on the Modernism Week calendar, modtix.com, but the Beatles and Beyond is going to be so much fun over at the Cultural Center, the Palm Springs Cultural Center, where the Camelot Theaters are. Right. We will be doing our piano bar of all Beatles and British invasion, cocktails, fun party time, and then we'll take you all into the large theater where we have the GAN Band. We have our producer director Alan. We have me. I don't know if we should tell them who we're going to be. I don't know, but you can imagine the life of the Beatles and beyond as they move towards the end of their Fab Four and Apple Records. We've got Dion, Shaban, the GAN Band, Alan, myself. Come, it's going to be so much fun.
We'll see you there. All right, so there we have it.
Yeah. Enjoy the films.
First show of the new year. We did it. Here we go, 2024.
Beautiful day.
And don't forget, we want you to like
and subscribe.
We'll
the Palm Springs Point of View. See you soon.